Welcome to a little less stupid. Songs and stories to be dumb, less, and smart, more. This week we're going to be a little less stupid on when will I be enough for my honey. It was this last Sunday, and I was back rolling this tan paint called Abington Putty. And I shouldn't have been happy single parenting while my wife was in Miami and working on a Sunday, but I felt kind of peaceful. And a quick thought in my mind, without much, just a simple quick thought was, am I happy that my wife's gone? And I knew that wasn't true because I love hanging out with my honey. But I, like a butcher, this is not a great analogy, like a butcher, I peeled back the fat of this thought. And I wondered what's going on here, and wanted to get to the meat of the thought. And I noticed I really like making my wife happy. And I think it had become a problem because in my mind I had heard my wife say, I love it when you play with the kids. And so in my mind, I'm like, all right, well, let's play with the kids every day. And then I've heard her say, when you do the dishes, it feels so nice, and it makes the night so much easier for me just having that thing off my list. And so in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, I'll do dishes and do that every day. And then fixing things and walking with me before you go to work and making coffee and all these little things. And in my mind, I want to do all those things every day, or at least the ones that I think are most important. And I feel like at the end of the day, there's usually something really important to my wife that I've missed. And then it turns into she misses the things that I did because she didn't ask me to do them, but I just thought, she wanted them done. And so I did them. And she doesn't see those things, and the things she actually really wanted done, I didn't do. And so that just feels kind of like there's a vacuum on around my honey. And it's just exhausting to have someone putting a vacuum on you constantly. But she didn't put it there, I realized as I was painting. And I put my cut-in bucket down, and the lady at the house was like a second mom to me at this house. And as I was painting, I processed this with her and realized my wife probably feels the exact same way, probably times 3, feeling like you're not enough, like there's a finish line you're trying to get to, but you can never get to it or past it because it's never been notated where that is. And I asked this sweet lady with white hair, and she calls me Sugar, and I love it. And I asked her, hey, do you, how could I, is this just like a thing, your wife goes on vacation, it's kind of nice, or is there something you can do? And she was like, Sugar, you just ask her one thing that would make her feel loved that day, and then just see if you did it, and then do that every day. And in my mind, I did a little formula, and I was like, that sounds really doable. One little thing I do, and I ask her it, and it's not romantic, but I feel like as a married person, years in, there's not time to do the most calorie consuming romantic thing. It's what's the thing that my spouse needs, and then do it. And then after that, just feel a peace. And so I was like, when my wife gets back, I'll start. And I was like, I'm going to do it right now. And I just texted my wife while she was in the Sunshine State. And I said, what could I do? What could I do that would make you feel loved today? And I texted her that, put the phone down, and got back to painting. And before I even picked up my cut-in bucket, she said, can you send me pictures? Just tons of pictures of the kiddos. I miss my babies. And so I had some selfies of us from the library and going on walks and story times. And I sent the pictures to her, and she just ate it up, loved it. It was like, thank you so much. And then she asked me, what would make you feel so loved today? And I was a little tired of the background on my phone being some self-help quote. And it's like, I'd love a picture of you, just you, that maybe one of your photography sisters could take. So would one of your sisters in Miami take a picture of you? And before the day was over, I had a picture of my honey enjoying some sunshine, and I made it my background, and it just made me so much happier than some quote I saw on Instagram. And at this house I was painting, the far left room is a sunroom with a baby grand piano, and I get paid when the job's done for the amount of rooms that I paint. I'm not getting paid by the hour. Just want to clarify. But I opened up my phone and I thought maybe like this could be this week's podcast instead of something I've already planned. And the first line comes from like, sometimes during the day you feel like you have this milkshake and you're so excited about it. You haven't had a milkshake in a while and you want to enjoy this milkshake. And like people, of course, ask like, hey, could I share? Could I have a sip? And of course you want to give a sip, but sometimes you get to the end of the day and you just feel like, excuse me, there's no milkshake left. And everyone from work to your wife, to your kids, to someone on the side of the road that needed their car jumped, there's no milkshake left. And it's nice. Ideally, you'd want to have a little bit of the milkshake that's out there. And so I started with this line, and then this song. I was excited about this new thing me and my wife were going to do. We're asking, what would make you feel loved? And what's the one little thing I can do? And I'm a little worried that it's going to be dishes most of the time. And so this song's called Dishes. I'd like to share my milkshake, but I'd like a sip or two. What's the simplest way to say that I love you? Well, we've both worked hard, the day's been long. My shaking hands have one more song. The dishes. Oh, she says the dishes. Oh, who is good at guessing? And I'm so hard to please. So sometime after dishes, would you smile at me? Thank you for joining me on this journey to be a little less stupid. Please subscribe, drop a 5-star if you feel like it's 5 stars. And if you feel so inclined, text this podcast to a friend and say, dude, period. And thank you so much for your time listening, and we'll see you next time on A Little Less Stupid. I think that's the kiddos.